Hello fellow hunters, welcome back to Who Plays. Today in Hunt Showdown I will be talking about how to get blood bonds easily. And as always, if you do like the video, hit that subscribe button as it really helps me out. I also upload videos on weekly basis. And let's get to the topic at hand. Hunt Showdown presents a unique take on the survival horror formula, which can be quite confusing for the new players. At the heart of the game's progression lies the blood bonds, which can be earned in a variety of ways and should be focused on from the beginning. Let's start with the basics. What are blood bonds? So blood bonds are the premium currency in Hunt Showdown which you can use to do the following things. Number 1, you can use it for cleaning of weapon which require 2 blood bonds. Since continuous strain and use of the same weapon and harsh environment effects such as dirt, blah 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 can render its performance to an extent, so you definitely need to do it every once in a while. And then number 2, you can use 20 blood bonds for a paid reshuffle, which actually means that if you're not happy with the given hunter options for recruitment, you could always spend 20 blood bonds to get a different variety of hunter with different weapon, tools, traits, etc. For me, it's a hassle and not really worth the price. On number 3, you can use 25 blood bonds for respect, which basically means that you can use it to remove traits or health chunks. This is quite straightforward. Sometimes you might have a health chunk burned during the last match, so you can either use trait points or spend blood bonds to get that health chunk restored. There's also a variety of health chunk formations, so you can remove them using blood bonds to get the variation you want. Seriously, if you die once or twice in a match or you have your health chunk burned, remember to restore it first using trait points before you go for other traits such as fanning or greyhound. And now coming on to the 4th point, which is the actual major use of blood bonds, is the legendaries, which include legendary weapon skins and legendary hunter skins. This is actually the biggest use of blood bonds, which can go as big as 800 blood bonds or more depending upon the skin, although in all fairness the skins are purely cosmetic and do not add more value to effectiveness of the weapon, but those skins are simply beautiful and those legendary hunters look badass, so why not? And in the last, I think this is something I really need to mention, is you require 200 for a new hunter recruitment slot. Initially you have about 5 recruitment slots and it can go as far as 10 slots, given that extra slot costs about 200 blood bonds as far as I remember. Why would anyone want so many slots? Well, equipment hunters with proper gear or your desired gear might take a while, so you can buy them all at once and have them equipped beforehand, making it easier to just select them later on, play without wasting time on gearing up. Let's get to the important stuff, which is how to get blood bonds easily. There are a few ways to get blood bonds in Hunt Showdown, both in-game and through microtransactions. The main way you will earn them is simply by playing the game. So let's get down to the topic. On the number 1, you can get about 850 blood bonds right off the bat by completing 3 training mods from basic to professional, which require minimum effort to complete while educating you about the basic game mechanics. On number 2, another way to get blood bonds is through completing Masteries in the Book of Monsters and the Book of Weapons, which have different level of masteries and each level grants a certain amount of blood bonds on completion. These methods require a little bit more planning, but if managed well can allow new players to build up a sizable stash of blood bonds. On number 3, doing weekly challenges can grant you some extra amount of blood bonds as well. Don't expect too much since you will be getting in the range of 25 to 50. And the number 4, the simplest way to earn blood bonds is by gaining accolades during the match. The question arises, what exactly are these accolades that I am talking about? Well, put it simply, Accolade is a card displayed on a mission summary screen that shows the achievements of the team during that mission, or team or a single player. Accolades group similar statistics, for example monster skills or hunter skills. After all of them are shown, 5 most important remain on top of the summary. Rest can be seen by clicking Show Mission Details button. You will be rewarded with blood bonds for gaining accolades during the match. The following rewards for each level. For example, for bronze accolade you will get 1 blood bond, silver 2 blood bonds, and for gold accolade you get 3 blood bonds. Accolades are gained by performing well in matches, extracting after beating the bosses, or taking down multiple hunters. You will only gain blood bonds for your top 5 accolades per match, so that's what you actually need to remember. Some gold accolades, are, being the only survivor in the quick play and running the gauntlet, which means you have actually banished, killed the bosses, both of them, taken their bounty. That's just some of the gold accolades. So absolutely make sure that you pay attention to these following things. Finally, on number 5, if you want to save time, you can also splash out real cash to purchase blood bonds packs directly from the store. These come in bundles from 300 all the way to 5,000, increasing in cost each time. I would not recommend doing so for most players, but if you're heavy on cash but short on time, it's not a bad option to have at all. And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any topics that you want to make me a video, whether it's including how the XP system works or how to actually gain $100 easily, put your questions or topics down in the comments so that I can really work on them, and maybe I will later on if it actually interests me and there is enough potential in it.